close my eyes, step back in time to troubled streets and trouble.
Welcome you all to this extraordinary event. We have a fantastic turnout. First speaker is Huey Webb, who we have to thank for this in many ways. Anyway, she's the regional coordinator for Time for Change Wales.
The idea of the campaign is to address stigma and discrimination for people who have experience of mental health problems. And stigma is a very, very big and real thing. And one of the things we're doing in Time to Change Wales as a campaign is supporting people with lived experience to put on their own projects and their own campaigns. One of the other remits from my job is to encourage people from the Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities to actually speak openly about mental health. And it's a very, very big thing for people to take forward a campaign that openly talks about mental health stigma and discrimination. One of the projects that have been funded is this project where you're standing in now, Mental Notes Beyond Words. Mental Notes Beyond Words is led by 3 people who have an association with Butetown. We have...
Next speaker is Frances Whitley. She's been an important member of the arts community around here for a number of years. Originally as an artist and as a person who was a kind of leader and mentor, and also as an art critic and historian.
I think maybe just to give some reason why I'm here at all is that I did spend a year here in the studio right upstairs. So over the last couple of years, can you hear me at the back? Right. A couple of years ago, I spent a year here upstairs at the very top of the building, having my own studio and being able to, in a sense, cure myself from coming out of the higher education system. And I think when you see an exhibition like this is when Butetown is really doing, the Butetown History and Art Centre is really doing what it's supposed to do. I started talking to Sean about outsider art about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, something like that. It's almost as though if you simply talk about outsider art these days, you're actually talking about a historical idea, and that was a very interesting idea. It began really, well, significantly, for example, with the Prinzhorn collection in Switzerland, where Dr. Prinzhorn actually began to realise that if you allow people to work on their own work, instead of locking them up in empty wards, then you're going to start not just curing that person, but enabling that person to be self-regarding and explaining almost to themselves what might be going on in their heads, in their lives, all the rest of it. So I think, what I'm trying to say is I think that art for some people is more than a therapeutic process. It produces art at the end of it all.
A volunteer, Butetown Art Centre and researcher on this project.
Many people joined the project. As I will say again, far too many to name. But 2 I must mention, who stepped into the gallery, who stepped onto this project with an A4 piece of paper, which was now turned into a book. Christine Driscoll. Created a book. This is the book that Yasmin's worked so tirelessly to create. I must thank her family. They're in the book, but they also supported her. Christine, my sister, larger than life, who also stepped in with a backpack and hollow work. Her work is based on children's stories and her life which is very inspiring. So please take time to read, glance at these 2 books. This is Christine's book. All right? It comes hot off the press. And me, I must say, I'm so proud of the two of them. Two young ladies here who are going to give us a little song, and one of them is Talisha. Where are you, Talisha? Young Talisha was hoping to do an audition for Britain Has Talent. And then we've got another singer, we've got Belle Blue, who plays the guitar, who wants to sing a little bit. And Talisha.
I heard church bells ring. I heard a choir singing. I saw my love.
Now, Belle, please, would you come forward?
But this last full. Here we go. It's called Our Places. These are our places, our sacred spaces, our hidden places where we are full. So let me take you. So damsel flies infinity.